Welcome, my viewers, to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about principles of good governance. Principles of good governance are the pillars of good governance in any given state. Where such principles are in absence, then there is a lot of dictatorial rule which is contrary to any given democracy in any nation. Under our Constitution of Kenya, principles of good governance are anchored under Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya. And amongst the principles that we have is rule of law. Rule of law is whereby the people who have been vested with the power to rule or elected by the people ought to exercise that power within the confines of rule of law, in strict adherence of rule of law in their rule, application of rule of law, application of equity, application of what the Constitution says, and in strict adherence to the set rules, statutes, and in the spirit of the Constitution. The other principle is transparency and accountability. For the people who have been given a chance to rule, they ought to exercise transparency in their exercise of their mandate given under the Constitution of Kenya. That is, to be accountable with power that they have been given by the people, to be accountable of the money that they are utilizing, the resources of the people, because they utilize the resources on behalf of the people. The other principle is sustainable development. In any initiated project ought to be sustainable to the people. There must be, it must contain the actual standard that people require, and it must be durable, so that at least can last long and can benefit the people, because it's done utilizing their resources. The other principle is inclusivity. The principle of inclusivity is whereby if you happen to form the government, or if you happen to be at the end of certain institution, then all faces of the people should be there. You should include all the tribes, balance the gender, equality, young and old. They must be there, so that these people can feel they are part and parcel of the governance. The other principle is patriotism. People ought to be loyal to their nation, to portray, to indulge in acts that are in regards to patriotism in their nation. The other principle is protection of marginalized. People ought to be protected, especially for those people who live in areas that are marginalized in a way. Resources ought to be supplied in equity, and they ought to be protected against any form of marginalization. And principle of non-discrimination ought to be adhered to under Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya. Talks about discrimination. Discrimination is an offense, so people ought not to be discriminated in any form in regards to resources that are being shared, or in opportunities that are being created for them to benefit from the rule that is in place. Those are basically the principles or the pillars of good governance. And I want to state to my viewers that in absence of those principles of good governance, then in opposite is dictatorial rule. But where principles of good governance are exercised as indicated under the Constitution of Kenya, Article 10 of 2010, then there is plenty of rule of law, there is plenty of good structures and institutions being governed in spirited principles that initially enhances the access of good governance, and also access of justice in all setups of such a state. My viewers, continue viewing, continue subscribing to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, share, and at the end of the day, you'll get a legal concept in these clips for your knowledge and even for beneficial of the society that you live in. Thank you very much.